Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how to trigger a movie clip symbol using a button symbol. Okay, so I am in the HTML5 canvas document type right now, just default settings for everything. Okay, and I have a image of the DeLorean time machine here and then a background image. I'm going to take the default layer here and name that background. Okay. And we'll go ahead and just drag this background on here. All right, like so. I'm not going to create any frames in my timeline here on the scene one. I'm going to leave that everything on frame one. Okay, I'll go ahead and lock that layer, and then I'll select the new layer icon here, and we'll just call this one time machine. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and drag the DeLorean onto the stage. It's too large, so I'll select the transform tool here. Hover on the corner, hold down shift so that I can drag, and it scales uniformly. Alright, and maybe like that size. We'll move that to right here. I'm just going to have this be the plane that it drives off on, like so. And then what we're going to do is we're going to make this a movie clip symbol. So I'm going to right click and convert to symbol, and we'll make sure this is a movie clip symbol, and then we'll just call it, I'll call it movie clip 1, movie clip sim 1. Okay, and I'm going to give it an instance name right now, and we'll just call it movie clip instance 1. Okay, now you don't actually have to give your own instance names. Animate will generate them for you, but it can make the code pretty confusing, so it's a good habit to get into to always just give your symbols their own instance names right away. Okay, so let's go ahead and go inside the movie clip symbol. Alright, and I'm going to give it 20 frames, so on the frame number 20 here I'm going to insert a keyframe. Alright, now rather than create my first tween between frames 1 and 20, I'm going to create them between 2 and 20. Okay, so I'm going to select frame number 2, right click, and then select insert keyframe. Alright, now I'm going to come over to frame 20 again, okay, and I'm going to drag the DeLorean off the stage. Alright, so we have the DeLorean on the stage, the DeLorean off the stage. We have two keyframes in the front. Frame 1 and frame 2 are identical. Now I'm going to create a classic tween between frame 2 and frame 20. Okay, so I'm going to select anywhere in between the frame 2 and frame 20, click and drag, and include frame 20 in that highlighting. Okay, going to right click and go to create classic tween. By the way, you can also come up here to insert and hit classic tween. Of course you can't at the moment, but that's where you'd go, but I usually just right click. Okay, so let's take a look at what we have now. We have frame 1 to frame 2, no change. From frame 2 to frame 20, our animation. Alright, let's go ahead and test this in a browser. There we go, our DeLorean is driving off over and over and over again as it loops. So let's put a stop to that by, on frame 1, let's go ahead and add an action that will stop the animation. Okay, so we'll come up here to Window, Actions, Code Snippets, HTML5 Canvas, Timeline Navigation, stop at this frame. So this movie clip symbol will stop at frame 1. You can see right here where it says Actions 1, that's the current frame. Okay, so let's test that out. Okay, we did not get rid of our animation. It's there. It's just stopped on the first frame, waiting for something that'll trigger it to start playing from frame 2. And that's what we're going to use our button for. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our button now. And here's the thing. We are going to stay inside of this movie clip. We're not going to go back to the scene. The scene's going to stay at just like this. Okay, we're going to go inside the movie clip symbol, and then inside the movie clip symbol, create our button symbol. So I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to move this layer below the actions layer. I like to keep actions on top. I'm going to rename this, we'll just call it text. Okay, and we'll add our text. All right, so right here, we'll go ahead and add some text. So the text is white right now, which will show up fine on the black background. But just in case, I mean, if you have a different color background or something, it's actually nice. So as long as text is selected, we can actually drag, let's see. We'll just drag a different colored shape under there, like so. Okay, and I guess if I do that, I'm going to have to change the color of my text next. So we'll go ahead and make the text black. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so what we want to do now is I'm going to just select the text layer, and that will select my background and my text. And then from there, we'll just right click and select convert to symbol. This time we will make it a button, and we'll just call this button sim1. Okay. Right away, let's go to the instance name here, and we'll give it an instance name. We'll just call it button instance. Okay, there we go. That'll work. All right, now let's go ahead and click on the button. Now we are inside of a button symbol inside of a movie clip symbol, right? Which is inside of our main scene. Let's see here. I'm going to select the over state, which is the mouse hover state, and insert a keyframe. The down state needs a blank keyframe, and the hit state needs a blank keyframe. And actually the up state, I'm going to drag this blank keyframe onto the up state there. That way that's also a blank keyframe. And I need to insert another keyframe here. So here's what you want to have at first. You want to have blank keyframe on the up, keyframe on the over, blank keyframe on the down, and for now, a blank keyframe on the hit state. I'm going to change that right now by making sure the hit state is selected with my blank keyframe. I'm going to select this oval right here and drag that oval over the DeLorean. Okay, the reason why I'm doing it this way is because I want to be able to reveal some information. I want to use the button symbol for something. Okay, and of course you can use the button symbol to click, but you also have the ability to have an overstate, and that's just another nice feature, so we might as well include that. Okay, so let's go ahead and go back to movie clip. Okay, let's go ahead and test and see what we've done so far. Okay, so there's our DeLorean, and we hover on it, 0 to 88 miles per hour and 1.21 gigawatts. Okay, so now all we need to do is click on this and get it to go. And the reason why I wanted to separate the animation from the first and second frame is I want to, when we click on the DeLorean, I want the text to disappear. I don't want the text to follow the DeLorean, okay? So, speaking of, let's do that next. So we have the text layer, right? On frame 1, we have a keyframe here for the text button. Let's go ahead and on frame 2, insert a blank keyframe. And that just makes it disappear. So we can stay as long as we want on the DeLorean, hovering over it over and over again, and that'll give us our text. Okay. By the way, the cyan circle here is just showing us where our hotspot is, the hit spot of the button symbol. Okay, so let's add our final action. Okay, so I am going to come up here to Window, Actions. Make sure and select the button symbol. So make sure and select the button symbol. I'm just going to select my hotspot here, and you can see that I have the button symbol selected. Okay, and that's key. Okay, make sure that you have the button symbol selected. Okay, I'm going to come over here to Code Snippets, HTML5 Canvas, Timeline Navigation, click to go to frame and play. Okay? Okay, and there we go. Now, the reason why we had to have the button selected first is because that's what we want to be our trigger, and you can see that reflected in the code, okay? So this button instance, remember we gave our instance name here, and this is why it's really nice to name your own instances, is then you can see some of your own work within the code, and that helps you kind of organize things. Okay, now let's see what this says. So the button instance, it has an add event listener, and it's going to listen for a click. Okay, and once it clicks, it does something. Okay, what does it do? It does this function. Go to and play at this frame. It says frame 5. We don't want frame 5. We also don't want frame 1. We want frame 2. Remember, frame 1 is reserved for the hover text hotspot for the button symbol. Okay, and so I'll set that to frame 2. All right, and that's actually all we need to do right there. And then we'll go over to the controls, or to control, test, and we'll see this in action. All right, so we hover and it says 0 to 88 miles per hour in 1.21 gigawatts. We click the DeLorean and off it goes. All right, now, yeah, it did loop back to the beginning again. Let's go ahead and change that. Now, there's a couple of ways we can do that. We can just turn looping off. What I want to do, though, is the chances of just animating from here to here and then not doing anything else, I mean, you might do that, but I could see this just being the first part of a longer animation, okay? Okay, so you want to make sure that your playhead is on the frame that you want to apply the action to. Then we'll go up to Window, Actions, Code Snippets, HTML5 Canvas, Timeline Navigation, stop at this frame. Okay, notice it created a whole new action here, okay? And then we have a new code block here outside of this one here. And the difference is the frame number. So this one here, actions, 1. See, current frame, 1. Right here, current frame, 20. Okay, stop at frame 20. All right, and the reason why this is nice is it's going to stop at frame 20, and then we could have it do something else, all right? So let's test it. Okay, so there we go, and we hover, and we get our awesome text, and if we click on the DeLorean, off it goes. And it's stopped at frame 20, waiting for you to add more actions and objects to animate.